Well, everybody, this is not a fun update that I have to give, but it is a necessary one. If you haven't seen the first video from yesterday about Vidith's situation, please do that first. In short, Vidith was demonetized by an automated system, and when he appealed it, he was told at the time in a smaller term that it was because of repetitive content, was the phrase that was used. Since then, he has been given a response back from an agent, quote unquote, but the response itself is auto-generated. And to really kind of put this into perspective, I'm going to give you a small snippet of what was said. As a participant in the YouTube Partner Program, you must meet several content quality guidelines. We've included some examples of content that doesn't meet these standards because it's seen as inauthentic content. Inauthentic content refers to content that seems like it has been mass-produced. This can mean content that looks like it has been made with a template, has minimal variation across videos, or is a slideshow with no low narrative, commentary, or educational value. Now, all that on the surface seems okay, still suspect, but okay, Here's the problem, is the examples they include. Examples include content that exclusively features readings of other materials you did not originally create, like text from websites or news feeds. I don't even need to read any further. Now, anyone who's known me for a long time knows that I am a writer before I anything else. Ironically, I've been on YouTube on and off for 20 years this year, but I have been a writer first, and I championed the whole blackout movement in 2020 with, YouTubers stealing stories, and I said it was terrible, and it still is. But on the other side of that, if I give my story to an author, if I give my story to a narrator, and I say, here's a contract, you pay me, or, if it's a small channel, you just do that and put my work out there, that narrator has the right to use my work at that point. I've given my permission. What they're implying here, dangerously might I add, is that in the guidelines, whether it's now or old, these are old, it's this idea that we can't read any stories, you can't read any text. And obviously they could say, well, it's just meant to be slop, like, you can't sit there and just read through a long piece of text, you can't do commentary like that. And I'm just thinking, hang on a minute, but that's a part of entertainment, that's a part of a massive section of what YouTube propagates and promotes. We have multiple huge creators like the Dark Somnium who do the same thing. They bring in significant pieces of revenue. To the point that celebrities and major outlets know the work that we do. They're aware and they enjoy it. In podcasting, that is a huge part of our job. And it's very concerning to see that, to have that thrown at a creator who has always stepped right to the guidelines, who has always done the right thing, who has always worked very hard and has made this a career, to then be told, well, you've done everything right and fuck you, we're going to take it anyway. And in 2026, YouTube's chief, Neil Moham, said that he wanted to integrate artificial intelligence to empower creators while simultaneously battling low-quality AI slop and deepfakes to maintain platform integrity. And he emphasized in the letter he put out this year that AI should remain a tool for expression, not a replacement for human creativity. Well, the problem with that, Neil, is you have moderation that is actively looking at creativity, where it's transformative adaptations of stories that have been legally and ethically sourced, agreed upon between author and narrator, turned into an immersive sound design piece, and you've said, no, I don't want those monetized. Meanwhile, you have no problem platforming incredibly damaging slopaganda by people who they use 11 Labs for the voice, they use text-to-speech channel pieces for their voice work, they use incredibly obviously AI-generated stories, and when they're not using those, then almost certainly stealing from authors. A problem that has been going on for such a long time, and it's never been resolved. There's never been a platform forward on that side of it. where an author like myself or others who have lost revenue cannot go and get it because YouTube doesn't enforce that as a way of recouping it. And I know I'm making a lot of ums and ahs and mistakes. I'm fucking angry because in addition to this, it creates no secure job market. And I just want to say something real quick because everyone's been so lovely about this. We've had so many, hundreds of comments and loads of people. There's been a couple, and I'll just tell you now, if you say something stupid, your comment's getting hidden. Only I'm going to see it, so no one else will, so don't waste your time. But I want to just make this really, really clear. If you comment and you're saying, well, you're a full-time YouTuber, that's a silly career, that's what do you expect? It's a job, you fucking idiot. Like, this is something that you have to be very, very good at and you have to work very, very hard at to do. It's not about whether it's better or worse or than any other career. All careers that you have to work at deserve payment. If people want to invest in that channel, if they are as an audience member want to support that channel, that's their prerogative. And the idea that it's not viable because it's a creative endeavor is incredibly short-minded, and it's ignorant, and it's cruel. And on the other side of it, and I'm saying this, Vidith is not saying this, I'm saying this. If you come into a comment section for a creator and you say, well, you didn't upload enough, or you didn't upload X, so you deserve this, fuck off, don't give us your money, and don't come back. You don't support the creator. You're part of an incredibly toxic group of people that is only happy when someone else is unhappy. You're only happy when someone else is failing. And I hate talking about this. That's all I'm going to say. It is incredibly upsetting. You have no idea the stress that it puts you under knowing that this is going on. Having someone kick you when you're down for not giving them free content is disgusting. That being said, Vidith still needs our help. And so one of the things we've done is we have decided that Vidith is going to join Dusklight Radio permanently from this point forward. He is going to be doing exactly the same thing he's been doing on his channel, but for us. So if you enjoyed Vidith 22 and you loved everything he did, guess what? It's the same thing, no oversight. He doesn't need my oversight. He knows exactly what the fuck he's doing and he's great at it. And it's going to be coming on Dusklight in the form of 30 in 30. We're starting it tomorrow, and it's going to be myself and Vidith into the splicing. Is that the word? Alternating every other day with some guest narrations in between. Because we really want to see Vidith succeed one way or another, and I want him to be looked after. So myself and Dark Somnium and a couple of others are banding together to make sure that the content we do will feature Vidith in some capacity, and there's a revenue share to ensure that nothing's going to go down, nothing's going to happen. You've already been amazing on the Patreon for Vidith. You've already been amazing on the Ko-Fi. Lots of people want to support him, and that's great. And in the meantime, he's going to be here helping to grow Dusklight. And the more that Dusklight grows, the more we can look after him. And as a result, we're only a smaller channel, but thanks to 30 and 30 round 1, we have really, really grown. And I'm very, very grateful for that. And having someone like Vidith, like, you guys don't even know how much Vidith helps behind the scenes. You guys have no idea. Most of the thumbnails you see, Vidith has had a hand in. The advice that's been given, Vidith has had a hand in. Playing Gale, the most iconic character I've ever created outside of Nell Lockwood, Vidith stepped up to the plate and did it without any trouble. One of the kindest, most generous people that I have had the pleasure of becoming a good friend with over the last sort of 14 months, particularly in the last sort of 6 months, I would say. I wouldn't have done 30 and 30 if he hadn't been on board with me for my insane endeavor. And of course, you can go and check out Sleepwalker. That already has 250 subs before you even upload anything. We really appreciate it. We are going to make sure content does go up. We're just trying to balance our schedule because we've kind of got to go straight in with 30 and 30. We have no choice because it's the best way to kind of maximize our revenue. And obviously, we want to make sure that is there as the alternative. We'll also be putting that on podcasting. Dusklight is going to have its podcast feed updated. Vidith's podcast feed is still going. That is not changing. So you can go and check that out as well. There will be no changes there. Vidith has also changed his tiers on Patreon. He's updated them. He's made them more streamlined, more creative. There are lots of different ways to support him. And, we're really grateful. And I don't like getting angry or upset on the channel. Like, it's kind of lame and not me. and it's not what I'm about. And generally speaking, I don't respond to those kinds of behaviors, but this is a serious thing, and it's something that I really don't want to see. And if I see it, you're simply just going to have your comment removed. So this can be the catch-all of I'm not dealing with it. And this is only a sidebar, and I just want to throw this out there. If you bring politics into this, you're also getting removed. I don't want it. I'm not interested in it. I'm an Englishman. I don't need your Americanized politics in my feed, and I don't want them. It's not appropriate. We're talking about AI and YouTube and the way it's affecting creators. We don't need to be talking about how Donald Trump has a hand in it or Biden had a hand. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. What is relevant is that we all love horror. We all love authentic horror with authentic voices, authentic sound design, authentic music, and authentic writers. And we need to protect that. Art is about integrity, and it is about looking after something that we have been crafting for a very long time. Vidith has been crafting for nearly a decade. I have been doing Dusklight now for a few years, but before that, I was on YouTube as part of the original creepypasta narrations when I was still a teenager, well over 15 years ago now, and I'm very passionate about protecting that integrity. I really wish I had a positive note for this. I don't. We're going to make it work. We are going to make 1330 work. We're going to make this a success, but at the moment there is a crushing feeling of it's almost like you're going up against a juggernaut. You're going up against an industry that is billions and billions of dollars rich, and it has no interest in looking after the average creator. It would rather platform slop, and I just don't understand why. Well, I do understand why. It's viable, but Dusklight Radio is not going anywhere, and if we get demonetized, you can find us on Patreon, you can find us on podcasting. We'll go to a different platform. We will survive, because that is what good artists and good performers do. So I apologize for the tone of this. I apologize if it's a bummer or if it's aggressive, but this is our livelihoods. And if YouTube isn't going to step up, then we need to look after each other. As of tomorrow, 1330 round 2 Electric Boogaloo begins. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have good vibes. We're going to do a stream at some point. I don't know when. We will figure it out. You can support all of us on our Patreons, on Vidith's Patreons, Ko-Fi. Of course, it's podcast feeds, our podcast feed, the Nightmare Detectives feed, the Discord. There's lots of ways to stay involved. Let us know your thoughts below. And lastly, thing for me, if you want to speak out against this, it's no point tagging YouTube here. Go on your social medias. Go on X, go on Blue Sky, go on Instagram, go on all of them and talk about it. Because unless you are a 1 million subbed creator, they really don't care. But you do. And it's you that determines the future of YouTube. Your revenue, your watch time determines YouTube's future. Make your voice count. Thanks.